Hey, Wargamers, VallumDominatio here. Today I'm with Ben from Tabletop Gaming Center. We're going to be doing a 1750 Planetstrike campaign with Ultramarines versus Orks. Ben is going to be playing the Orks today. It's his first time playing a Horde list, so show us what you got, Ben.
Alright. I went Horde in the Extreme. I've got, as my troops choices, I have a base of 100 Ork Boys. That's 5 units of 20 Ork Boys in each. I've also got a unit of Truck Boys with Shooters. This is a looted wagon with Boom Gun, which has the AP3 Large Blast Strength 8. Which will be great against Ultramarines.
Provided it can hit anything.
Provided it can hit anything. I've got a War Boss with 10 knobs. This is my Warlord Ghazghkull, who's going to be riding with his 10 knobs in a Battle Wagon with Kill Cannon, AP3 Large Blast Strength 7. And then I've got 5 Storm Boys. I would have taken more of those, that's all the ones we had painted. But because it's Planetstrike, they can deep strike and assault the turn they come in. So I'm hoping that they land on target and get to do something and tie something up.
Absolutely. All right, and for my list, I've got a treat for all you wargamers today. I just had an excuse to paint and assemble Chaplain Cassius, as you can see on the screen. Yeah, this is gonna be his first battle, and Ben and I both have no idea how he's gonna operate, so we'll find out what happens today. He's going to be leading a squad of Assault Terminators, all with Thunderhammer Storm Shields, mounted up in a Land Raider Redeemer with a Twinked Assault Cannon, 2 Flamestorm Cannons, and a Multi-Melta. For my troops choices, I've got not 1, but 2 tactical squads, both with Sergeants with Power Weapons and Bolt Pistols, Flamers, Missile Launchers. The Rhinos have 2 Stormbolters and a Hunter-Killer Missile. For my other Elite's choice, I have 2 Venerable Dreadnoughts. Venerable Dreadnought Alexander with Assault Cannon, Power Fist, Heavy Flamer. And then over here, I have Venerable Dreadnought Caesar with Assault Cannon, Power Fist, Heavy Flamer. Makes them both very good at killing Horde armies. And also act as counter assault, just in case.
Man.
And for my heavy support choices, I have a 5-strong squad of Devastators, all with missile launchers, Sergeant with Bolter and Signum, and then a custom-built Predator Executioner based off the Demos pattern with heavy bolter sponsons, the Plasma Destroyer, which does not overheat, I found out.
Nope, it's a vehicle.
So, well, I mean, the new rules actually allow vehicles to overheat now, but the Plasma Destroyer does not.
Nice.
And it has Cronus mounted in it for Ballistic Skill 5, ignores shaken and stunned results. We basically most of the D6 roll now.
Yeah, right?
So 1 through 4, basically I just ignore it. Nope. That's gonna be fun to kill that.
Oh, yeah.
And the Plasma Destroyer, 3 shots.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Oh, this thing was born to kill hordes.
That is awesome.
Alright, man. Well, alright, War Gamers. Well, that's our lists. I'm actually quite intimidated by this 100-strong Ork list. Here's my prediction. I bet at least 40 of the Ork Boys will be in there. Ghazghkull among them, along with this knob, is getting stuck in while the rest get slaughtered.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be merciless. I was saying to Greg before this, I haven't put this many models on the board, and in half an hour to be like, I've never taken this many models off the board in a turn before.
Now he knows how I felt when I played Orks. But yeah, that's our list, and we'll be back with once I get the map set up for Planetstrike. Alright, so here's the final board. Pretty sparse terrain with the fortifications in the center, pretty much like a desert. But here's my fortifications. There's 2 bastions, that gray one over there. The pillbox is supposed to be a count as for that one, so basically it's the same look and everything, with the heavy bolters all around. My forces are deployed as such. Casts and the Terminators are inside the Land Raider Redeemer. Got 2 tac squads, both of which are combat squadded. The sergeants and the special weapons are in both the Rhinos. One of the tactical squads with the missile launcher is in the bunker. The other one is in the pillbox, which has a removable lid for the lulls. Isn't that right? For the lulz.
For the lulz.
Exactly. I got both my dreadnoughts ready to leap over the cover to assault anyone that gets close. Player execution over there, ready for action. And Devastator squad on top of the bastion, so they have a good field of fire the entire battlefield. Now, we already rolled for Firestorm. He rolled a 3 plus 2 for 2 bastions, because you roll d6 plus a number of bastions you have on the field. So he rolled a 3, so he gets a total of 5 Firestorm shots, which is going to go out right now. We'll be back as soon as after Firestorm rolls have been made. Well, the Firestorm turn is over. Actually, quite a bit of damage, nothing too special, but it did shave off a few hull points. The Land Raider suffered 2 hull points of damage, bringing it down to half its normal hull points. Plus, it's stunned, so it can't move or shoot, but it can still power the Machine Spirit if it wanted. The Predator lost a hull point. It would have been stunned, but Cronus is in it, so he ignores crew stun and shaken results. And that was virtually it. So, and Ben chose to select that short board edge as his deployment area. So, and he gets first turn. So we'll be back after the first turn ends. Okay, so we're at the top of turn 1. Go ahead and show us what you did.
All right. Brought a bunch of my army on here. These guys all came in off the board edge. They moved on, ran 6 inches. The truck came on full of the shooter boys. I attempted to deep strike the storm boys. Right over here, they scattered straight back 9 inches, and we measured and found out if I had just run them in off the board, they would have ended up exactly there. The battle wagon and the looted wagon came on. I deep struck these guys. They landed where they were supposed to, right?
Yes.
Yep. These guys attempted to deep strike inside his base. Ended up getting the mishap where Greg gets to place them over in difficult terrain, and they lost 5.
Yep.
I had another group mishap trying the same trick. They got put back in reserve, and then we had another one get put back in reserve. They're orcs, man. You gotta try and go for broke.
And the Warboss and Knobs are still in reserve.
Warboss and Knobs, I chose to hold in reserve. So as far as shooting is really uneventful. I fired both the large templates at the Executioner, trying to, knock that out. Neither one of them got the rolls they needed to pen.
At least they hit.
They did hit. These guys all fired their pistol, caused 3 wounds, but he made all his saves, and those guys are too far away to do anything. So now for the counterattack, which is going to be flamer filled and blood.
It's gonna be a saute orc tonight.
Oh no, it's gonna be bad. But there's still 40 orcs, 20 knobs, and a war boss still not on the board. So there will be more.
There'll be more to come. Yeah. This is the bottom of turn 1. As you can see, there are not nearly as many orcs as there were earlier. There was a lot of successful shooting this round. We'll start over here. The truck has been completely obliterated by shots from the Executioner. A couple orcs burned up in the explosion. The Marines deployed from the Rhino, shot up a few more of the orcs from over here. Devastators shot at the battle wagon, no success. Dreadnought ripped up the Storm Boys who fell back off the board edge. The Rhino over here deployed the combat squad over here to assist the attack squad over there. They had the orcs over there. Reduced them the 2 of their numbers, so they ran away for now. With assistance from the Dreadnought, power the Machine Spear between the assault cannon, automate heavy bolters on this bastion and that bastion. And, well, that was a pretty eventful shooting phase. I think we calculated I killed 30 orcs in that one round.
Yes, that was brutal.
So that's not bad for turn 1, especially. So, but the inevitable orc counterattack is about to happen, so I'm iffy about what's going to happen. So let's see what happens. Okay, so after this is the top of turn 2, it's actually been a really eventful turn for the orcs. Why don't you share with us what happened?
Okay, we had reserves come on, we had a unit of 20 boys come in, and we had the war boss and his 10 knobs. So they're hiding out back here. These guys are running up to the front. As far as shooting went, we had a kill cannon here, fire in, it took out a Marine. put a hull point of damage on the Rhino. It didn't manage to do anything to the Executioner. The boom gun fired over, scattered off of those Marines, but managed to put a hull point on the Rhino. And Shooter Boys shot into the Marines there.
Got 2 more, I think.
Got 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
3, brought it down to 1 Marine with a flamer. All these boys charged in, cut him down, but he managed to take 1 more Orc boy down with him before he went for Overwatch. And then they consolidated slightly into the defense lines. So the lines are breached, albeit by 3 Orc boys. And then these 2 guys consolidated, and they're just going to hang out and wait for some reinforcements to come in before continuing.
They're having a campfire. They're eating what's left of their buddies.
Very true. All right, and that was
bottom of turn, or top of turn 2, yeah. Alright, so bottom of turn 2. It's been really good for me right now. I managed to retake most of my base. As you can see here, all the Orcs are no longer present. A lot happened. The Land Raider switched positions with the Rhinos, opened up with his Flamestorm cannons into the Slugger Boys over here, killed a couple of them. Power the Machine Spirit, the Twin Assault Cannon into the Shooters, killed a few more. Dreadnought finished them off. Plasma Destroyer on the Predator, killed a whole bunch, killed like 8 Orcs over there. The other 2 are falling back right over here. Missile launchers from Devastators knocked a hull point off the Battle Wagon. That's a plus. Rhinos used their 100 killer missiles against the Wagon. Knocked off 2 hull points, shaken and stunned it. So I got myself a bit of breathing room, like Ben said earlier. Fail. The missile launcher guy in here and the guy in the bunker tried to fire and finish off that Looted Wagon. To no avail. But still, I'll take that. And then I just shot a few more shots into those Orcs over there, knocking a few off their number. And that Orc, oh man, he's not having a good day. He just booked it 12 inches all the way over there. You can see him right next to the right next to the Looted Wagon. He is, like you said, he's not having a good day.
It's rough. However, it's going to be Waaagh time this turn.
And I have to say, bring it.
It's going to be good. Alright, this is the end of the top of turn 3. The Waaagh has been called. Ghazghkull's battle wagon drove up. They disembarked. Ghazghkull assaulted the Venerable Dreadnought, blew him up, exploded and killed off a few knobs. The knobs assaulted the Executioner. Executioner exploded, killed off a knob. Cronus got out, so he's going to still be able to be in the fight. All the boys here just used the opportunity with the extra movement to get up and get closer to Bastion. The War Boss and Knobs moved out from cover, getting ready to go up and support. And these Orc boys used the movement to full effect to reach the lines, assaulted the Rhino, but despite 27 attacks, only got 1 glance, so the Rhino is still there. Other than that, and our one valiant survivor from that initial group is still, he's back in the fight. He's very excited. And that's it for top of turn 3.
Nice. Okay, bottom of turn 3. Quite a bit happened over here. We shot up all the Orcs over here with 1 remaining. Got assaulted by the Dreadnought and sent to near orbit. The Land Raider over here unloaded its Terminators, shot up some of Ghazghkull's retinue. The Terminators charged in, wiped out the rest. The Terminator Sergeant issued a challenge to Ghazghkull, who then thoroughly got cut down. That was a surprise. The Missile Launcher Devastators over here knocked off another hull point off the Battle Wagon.
Yep.
And, well, that was virtually it.
Yeah, that combat was the big news, and
yeah, that was virtually it. Well, we'll find out what happens in turn 4. There's still 20 more Orcs to come on from reserves, which have been held in reserve for the last 2 turns. So this may be the make or break game right here. If Ghazghkull can beat the Terminators and Cassius and Cronus, then it might be bad news bears for me if I'm not careful. Okay, so this is the bottom. This is the top of turn 4.
Yep. And a lot of stuff happened. We had this assault here. The War Boss and Knobs charged in. War Boss fought, both declared challenges. War Boss charged
Cronus.
fought Cronus. Cronus was killed, War Boss took a wound. Ghazghkull and Cassius fought. Cassius made all his invulnerable saves and survived. Ghazghkull took 1 wound. 2 Terminators were killed, 2 Knobs were killed, and that fight is ongoing. We also got our 20 extra boys in, so now the whole Orc army is on the field. And then shooting from the 2 vehicles didn't really didn't do too much. We killed off 1 Devastator with missile launcher. It's 1 less missile shot coming out next turn. So go to Ultramarine turn 4.
All right. Okay, bottom of turn 4. Things have been going on and off for me today. Dreadnought finished off the battle wagon with a rending shot. The missile launchers over on the Devastators knocked out the looted wagon. Redeemer moved up, flamed half the mob over here, powered the machine spear, they took the Soul Cannon into them, knocked a few out. Cassius got killed by Ghazghkull, but not before inflicting another wound on him. And the other guys moved up, and there's now a free reign to pick their assaults this upcoming Orc turn. So this could make the next turn 5, could make or break this for me. Because right now we're at a draw. The Orcs have control of this building because in Planetstrike, the attacker always breaks ties. And this one is still in my control because I have a unit inside the bastion, so we'll find out what happens in turn 5. Alright, we're at the top of turn 5, and things are looking bad for the Ultramarines right now. Go ahead and explain what happened.
Alright, we had the War Boss over here assault the Land Raider, blew it up. The Ghazghkull then directed his attacks towards the Rhino that was there, blew it up. And then these knobs assaulted the combat squad up there, killed everyone but the sergeant. The sergeant's hanging on in battle, and starting to get pushed back further away from that first bastion. And we will see what happens at the end of the Ultramarine turn. Alright, it was the end of turn 5. Shenanigans. So, as much as I had all these Orcs breaching his lines, Greg directed everything that could possibly shoot at Ghazghkull. The Dreadnought, the Devastators in the Bastion, the Storm Bolters on the Rhino, the Tactical Squad, the squad in there,
even the auto
automated
bolters.
gun, everything. And he got just enough wounds through to bring Ghazghkull down. That's not the worst part. The fight that was going on here between the 6 knobs and the 1 veteran sergeant, I inflicted 3 wounds, he made all of his armor saves, he put 1 wound through, so he won combat. I failed my morale check, he beat me on initiative by 1, and he cut down 6 knobs. So just as quickly, I now only have the 1 War Boss. We made our roll for the end of the game, and it's over. It ends at a 1-1 draw. The Bastion over here is held by both of us, but because Orcs are the attackers on Planetstrike, attackers get to claim contested objectives. And the bunker over here still has a squad inside, and he scores the point for that. So 1-1 draw. It was an awesome game. It kept going back and forth. Well played.
Yeah, and if you guys like this battle report and want to see more, please visit Ben's channel at Tabletop Gaming, or Tabletop Gaming Center, I apologize, and visit my channel as well, because we like subscriptions, and we like to share our battle report experience with our viewers.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was a very intense battle we had going on today. So Ben, well, this is gonna be new for our channels. We're gonna do an LVP MVP sort of thing right now, because you gotta admit there's aspects of our armies that did awesome and ones that did, well, not so awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll have the Orks go first because they did such an awesome job.
Okay. MVP, absolutely Ghazghkull, and to a certain degree his knobs. They just absolutely, they broke open this whole section, and he on his own took out a named character, the Terminators with his retinue, a Land Raider, and the Rhino, and
a Venerable Dreadnought.
And a Venerable Dreadnought. That whole side just caved under the War Boss Ghaz and his retinue. And that really, despite him not being on the board at the end of the game, gave us a fighting chance and knocked out a lot of Ultramarine firepower. So he's going to be my MVP.
And what would your LVP be?
Oh man, it's always bad when you finish a game and you're like, gee, which of my units was the least valuable? I have to say, the looted wagon actually didn't do as much as I would hoped. There's a lot of cover. That's part of the boon of Planetstrike is, he's always behind defenses. So I didn't knock out as many power armored Space Marines as I had hoped. But also the one surviving orc who kept failing leadership and then regrouping and running back and failing, and that was a mess.
Only to end up getting picked off.
But yeah, I'd have to say there were a couple units that just didn't quite make it. The Storm Boys didn't get a shot off.
And the deep strike
mishap. This unit of boys showed up at the last minute and kind of walked on. But at the end of the day, it all kind of worked together. Even things that die draw firepower that could have been directed somewhere else.
True.
But overall, I was happy with how everything worked out.
Well, for the Ultramarines, there is literally no question as to what my MVP is. It's got to be the Sergeant from Squad Number 4. I literally marked them individually. That is the Sergeant of Squad Number 4. He's been serving me since 2006. He's been really good to me all these years. He single-handedly taking out a squad of 6 knobs by himself. That's something that deserves special notice.
Absolutely. I wrote that sergeant off. I'm like, I'll just mow through this guy, and then...
Nope. He's like, no. But, he's definitely my MVP, hands down, because no one else did as great as he did.
No, absolutely.
The other guys did something, did okay here and there, but nothing as fantastic and noticeable as that. That would be memorable. But for LVP, I can't begin to tell you what went wrong. I would definitely say my LVP would have to be Cassius. I'm afraid to say it. For all you people who love Cassius, I'm sorry. I don't think I played him right. That's the trick, though. He's the first time I used Cassius in an actual game, and I put him up against the foe I thought would do a good job. The problem is, Ben and I came to the decision that he was designed, because he's only got 2 wounds marked. He's basically a normal chaplain with special rules. But he is not good at fighting other HQ choices. He's only good at taking on large groups of small fries like Orks or Tyranids, for example. Because he's got that combi flamer, he's got the bonuses that allow him to reroll hits in close combat, but he doesn't have much else aside from power armor and Rosarius, which gives him a 4+ invulnerable save with only 2 wounds. So I hate to say it, but Cassius is definitely my LVP, because while he did a good job at holding Ghazghkull, he did not live up to my expectations.
I'd like to see him used in another game. It's about directing him at the correct unit for his abilities.
Yeah.
And there's also something to be said that my MVP went up against your LVP that might have some sway.
Even so. I don't think I played him correctly, which I will make sure not to make that same mistake in future games when I play Cassius. Rest assured, I will play Cassius more, seeing as special rules and all this stuff he can do. So... But I just gotta make sure, like you said, I gotta make sure I throw him at the correct enemy, otherwise he'll end up getting screwed. But still, that was a really close game. At turn 5, it still could go either way, especially after Ghazghkull bit it. Because the War Boss can easily just walk up and annihilate everyone else, including the Vendread. So, he's got the bodies to make up for the loss of his heavy hitter. So...
But any game that comes down to a guy making or not making his last armor save, or a sergeant performing a heroic deed. And those are it came down to if this went one more turn or if one dice roll had been different, it could have changed the game, and I love that. You never want on turn 3 to be like, oh, I know how this is gonna go.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Me too. That was fantastic. Well, War Gamers, it's been awesome with you having you with us today. So we're definitely gonna play more battle reports together in the future, and keep an eye out for both our channels, Tabletop Gaming Center and myself, VallumDominatio. So you guys have a good evening, and have a happy holiday if you already had one already, because. Well,
depending on when this airs or when you're watching it.
Because if you're watching it, I hope you had a happy holiday, happy New Year, and all that. So we'll catch you in the new year.
All right. Until next time.